Hi everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith and this is...
Luke Smith.
And we are here to play what, Luke?
Boss Monster.
That's right. We've already got the setup finished. We figured you didn't need to sit through that. But I will tell you who my boss monster is. It is the evil and regal Draculord. His level up ability is that when I level up, I will get to look at your cards in your hand, pick one to keep for myself. In a multiplayer game where there's more than two, I would actually get to pick which opponent I wanted to do this to. Luke's my only target. I also have the highest experience points of the monsters, so I'll be resolving my cards first in most of the rounds. Luke, you are...
Robobo!
Robobo.
I am an angry golem.
Yeah, pretty angry looking, but you have a very cute name, Robobo. So precious. Okay, so what's Robobo
My
do?
level up is each opponent must choose and destroy one room in his or her dungeon.
You are a room wrecker, right, when you level up?
I'm an angry golem.
And remember, when you level up, that means just when you get 5 rooms face up in your dungeon. And the level up ability only happens once, right? Now, the other part of the setup is you get to do one free build of a room. So we've got ours face down. Why don't you join us at the table? We'll reveal them now and resolve what happens. So because my boss monster has the highest experience points, I'll be revealing my room first. And it is the Spectre's Sanctum. When I build this room, I choose an opponent. Luke, I choose you. That opponent discards a random spell card.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so Luke only has
there we go.
one spell card. And it was randomly chosen. The freeze spell. I'm happy to see that one go. Well, Luke, now it's your turn to reveal your room.
I have the Dark Laboratory.
The Dark Laboratory. What does this do?
When you build this room, draw 2 spell cards, then discard a spell card.
So Luke's going to draw 2 of those spells. You're going to pick which one you want to keep, right? While he's doing that, we'll start the actual first round. We need to reveal some heroes. So we have a mage that has a health of 4, and we have a fighter that has a health of 6. That fighter is certainly dangerous. Early in the dungeon building, it's not easy to kill a hero with 6 health, right?
Yeah.
Did you pick your spell?
Yes, I did.
Okay, excellent. The other part of this phase is we each get to draw a card. So I'll take a room, and you'll take a room. Now we should probably just cut away for a second. We'll look and decide what we want to build during the build phase. So because I have the higher experience, I'm going to reveal my chosen room first. I didn't really have a lot of great options, so although this isn't going to help me this turn so much, hopefully in a future round it will. This is the Boulder Ramp. It only does 1 damage, but if I destroy another room in my dungeon, I get to deal +5 damage to a hero in this room. And that's a lot of damage. What about you, Luke? What did you build?
I built the construction zone.
Now, what does this one let you do?
When you build this room, you may immediately build an additional room.
Now that, I think, is going to work out really well in your favor because right now, based on the symbols that you have in your dungeon and what these adventurers are looking for, you're probably going to draw both of them in. And early on, it's not easy to defeat even a 4 health hero. So what's your next room going to be?
The Dizzy Gas Hallway.
Okay, this sounds good. What is this going to do?
If the next room in your dungeon is a trap room, it has +2 damage.
That's right, and the next room is a trap. So this is a perfect combination. So now it's time to lure these adventurers, and clearly the mage who's looking for the most books is going to find them in Luke's dungeon. And the fighter is going to find those fantastical weapons in Luke's dungeon as well. So the mage slides up, and then the fighter does as well. And what we'll do, just because we don't want to cover up the cards as we march the heroes through, we want you to be able to see what's going on. Instead, we'll just point each room as the heroes go through. So starting with the Dizzy Gas Hallway, the mage would take
1 damage.
Right. Now, I would like to play a spell.
Uh-oh.
Now, Luke, I have to show you this spell, and then you can decide if you want to play any of the spells yourself, and yours would resolve before mine. This is the Assassin, and what it does is it gives a hero +3 health. So now, instead of this mage having 4 health, it has 7. So, now he's taken 1 damage here. How much damage does he take here?
2, 3, 4.
Right.
5.
Uh-oh. He's not dead. So the mage got to the boss, and that means instead of this being a point that you claim, a soul, you take it as a wound.
You
One
are
wound.
nasty.
That was not very nice. Well, I am an evil boss monster, of course. The fighter, well, we kind of already know what's going to happen here with this fighter, don't we? Because the fighter has a health of 6. We know that at most, Luke's dungeon can only do 5 damage. So this fighter also is going to get to the boss monster and cause Luke another wound.
And I said this before, but you are nasty.
That was a nasty first turn. Well, that first round really went in my favor. I don't mind saying it. It's true. I don't know how long that will last. We'll see. But to start the next round, what do we have to do? Do you remember?
Yes, we have to draw a card.
We do get a card. We also reveal 2 more heroes, 1 for each of us. So we've got another mage. This one has a health of 6. That could be a little bit dangerous for Luke. And we have the Fool. The Fool. Okay, so what does this say?
He should go in your dungeon.
Thank you. The Fool is lured to the dungeon of the player with the fewest souls. In the case of a tie, he waits in town until the tie is broken. He only has a health of 2, so he's very easy to defeat. But he's not going to go to anyone this turn because neither of us have any souls. All right, so it's just the mage we'll be fighting over. You're right, we each get a card now, right?
Yeah.
So we'll draw these, and then we'll pick which rooms we're going to build. You can join us and see which ones we choose. All right, I have the highest experience. I resolve first. I've picked a room that is going to do something kind of good for me, but I wish I could have saved it for later. But based on what I have in my hand, this is, I think, the best move. This is the Mimic Vault. Whenever you build this room, you choose 1 ordinary hero in town and then place it at the entrance of your dungeon. I'm not equipped to deal with the mage unless I'm prepared to destroy a room. And there's a possibility that the mage will come through here and hurt Luke again. So I think I'll leave that and instead take the wimpy old Fool. So now, Luke, you get to build your room.
I get to build the Brain Sucker Hive.
Oh, now that does sound evil. What does this one do, Luke?
Once per turn, if a hero dies in this room,
Yes.
I draw 2 spell cards.
Well, that's pretty decent. Now, hard to kill a hero this early on.
Yeah.
But you have space to put another room here. You might be able to actually get someone dead by the time they get to that room. All right, so now it's time to lure once again. I only have 1 fancy book. Luke has got 3 fancy books, so the mage is going to come here. But I get to process adventurers first, so the Fool is first going to move into this room and take 1 damage, and then...
Booyah!
Oh, booyah! You had an assassin card too!
Yeah.
Okay, so this Fool turned out, he wasn't a fool at all, he was in disguise. He's actually an assassin. He's got a total of 5. Is that, oh, that is going to be enough to get through my dungeon and wound me. Now, unless I want to destroy a room to do an additional 5 damage. But then I have to destroy either the Mimic Vault or the Spectre's Sanctum. And based on what I have in my hand and what I'm planning to do, I can't really afford to destroy either. So this ridiculous assassin Fool is going to cause me a wound.
Woo!
I suppose I did deserve that. Okay, Luke, well, you have a mage that's going to come marching through yours. It's going to take 2 wounds here, a 3rd wound, 4, 5, 6. It's going to, that's right, when it exits
7.
this room, it's going to have already been defeated.
Yep.
So, Luke, you are collecting the first soul point. It goes right like that, and that symbol represents a soul point. Well, I don't know what this says about my dungeon, but I couldn't even defeat a simple little Fool. But now...
Robobo has his revenge.
That is corny. And you're my son, so that makes sense. It's time for the next round. Now what we're going to do is draw 2 new heroes and each take a new card. So the first hero is, it's a thief. And this thief has 4 life. And also, we have a cleric. That's what I like to see, because I have lots of holy relics. How much health does this cleric have, Luke?
Let's see. 8. Let me
8?
see.
That's outrageous. That is outrageous. There's no way. Well, maybe with a good room
You should
draw.
have destroyed a room. The boulder.
Well, that's true. I have that room I can destroy. That might help me. Okay, I've got my card. You draw yours.
Oh, yeah.
And now we need to pick which room we're going to build. Now, this time you can see that I placed the room I'm going to build on top of one of my other rooms because I have an advanced room here. That's the gold symbol here. That tells us that it's advanced. And we have to have at least 1 matching symbol on the room underneath that we're upgrading. This is the recycling center, and I think this one is going to work perfectly with my dungeon because it says when another room in my dungeon is destroyed, I get to draw 2 room cards. And destroying rooms is what this boulder ramp is all about. It also does 3 damage, so that's already really good. What about you, Luke?
I have the Goblin Armory.
Okay, well this one only does 1 damage.
But
Right, but
every adjacent monster room gets 1 plus damage.
that's right. So now this one is actually
Actually,
going to
plus
deal
1 damage.
Yes, plus 1 damage. So this one will be 2 plus 1 for 3. And you added 2 more swords. So all of the fighters are going to love running to your dungeon.
Dad, I have leveled up.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Because of this room, you got to build an extra one. You're leveled up now. This is totally going to interfere with what I had planned. Because now I have to pick one of the rooms in my dungeon and destroy it. And I had worked out a way to defeat this cleric in a pretty efficient way. I'm going to need a second just to look at this, Luke. Okay, I've looked this over. I'm going to have to destroy the Spectre's Sanctum. That's going into the discard. These rooms will slide over to fill in the space. Hi everyone, sorry to interrupt. Future Rodney here. I need to correct a mistake that past Rodney is about to foolishly make. A room was just destroyed in his dungeon. Well, he has the recycling center. That means he gets to draw 2 room cards. So what did he forget to do? Draw those cards. What an idiot. So I'm here to draw those cards now, show them to you so that at the end of the episode, when you're looking at the cards in his hand and he asks you to help him out, you're going to be able to actually help him out. He clearly needs it. So the 2 cards that we have are the Haunted Library and, oh, this sounds good, the Torture Chamber. So join me at the table. Let's take a look at what these 2 do. So the Haunted Library allows me to draw from the spell deck instead of the room deck at the beginning of my turn. The Torture Chamber is a trap room and it has a Destroy This Room ability. I can then choose an opponent and that opponent discards a random room card. And as a reminder, Destroy This Room effects are abilities that you can activate anytime you would normally be able to activate a spell. Please accept my apology on behalf of past Rodney and enjoy the rest of the episode. But now it's time to lure in these adventurers, and we're going to start with the thief. But both Luke and I have 2 bags of gold in our dungeons, so the thief is going to stay in town. The cleric is looking for holy relics, and I have one, so the cleric is coming here. This is rough because I could defeat the cleric if I wanted to. He would take 3 damage in this room. He'd take another 1 damage here. Then I could destroy another room. I'd have to destroy this room. That would be enough to defeat the cleric. Now the nice thing is I do have a room underneath, and that would come back into play. But now in my dungeon, I would have a total of 2 damage I could do to future heroes. I'm not sure that's enough, given just how much Luke has laid out here. I might regret this, but I think I'm just going to have to let the cleric go through. I'm going to take this 2nd wound. Luke, man, well played. It's time for the next round. So we're going to reveal 2 more heroes. Even though there's already a hero in town, you still add the normal amount of heroes each round, which means they can start piling up over time. The first one we have here is a cleric with 6 health. The next one we have is
Bowden the Pantless.
Yes, he's not wearing any pants. It's a fighter that only has 4 health. Pretty easy to kill. And Luke and I each get a new room card. Well, before we wrap up, Luke would just like to read the flavor text on Bowden the Pantless. Go ahead, Luke.
Bowden's courage is matched only by his forgetfulness.
Clearly.
The quest to find his misplaced armor continues.
Yes, he's probably going to find it in your dungeon, I suspect, because you have got a ton of swords there. Well, listen, we're going to wrap things up here, but the game continues, and I need your help. You need to work with me, clearly. Although Luke and I both have 2 wounds, Luke has a point, and his dungeon is looking a lot better and more nasty than mine is. So what I'm going to do is secretly show you the cards that are currently in my hand. And of course, show you the layout of the dungeon as well. What I want you to do in the comments below, tell me which of these rooms do you think that I should build next. If you don't like what someone has suggested, just propose your own idea. Then people can just give a thumbs up to the suggestion they like the best. When we come back in the next video, whichever one got the most votes, that's the room I'll build, and we'll continue playing and hopefully defeating some more of these heroes. But until the next episode,
Thanks for watching.